Hello, Just Swiss here. You're welcome to AutoCAD Beginner to Pro Learning channel. This is an AutoCAD tutorial. Here we'll focus on 2021 version of AutoCAD. But this channel applies to both previous and future versions of AutoCAD. This is the first in this series, and it is going to be the user interface. In this user interface, we'll look at 1. App Launch, 2. Model Space, 3. Status Bar, 4. Toolbar, 5. Ribbon or Tools, 6. Palette, 7. Workspace, 8. Anatomy of a command, and finally 9. The help features. Alright, without much further ado, let's get straight into it. With the assumption that you have AutoCAD installed on your computer, go to your desktop and double-click on AutoCAD icon, or just search for it on the search bar and click on the icon. The Start menu contains 3 columns. The Get Started column. From here, you can start a new drawing or open any of your previous work or any other AutoCAD file, chipset, or template. The next column is a recent document, which contains all of your past work. But if you haven't done any work with this version of AutoCAD, yours will be like this with only these 3 files. The last column contains Notification and Connect. You can connect to your account or create an account with AutoCAD to access online services from here. Having seen how to launch the application, we are now ready to start looking at the interface. Click on the Start Drawing button. The large area at the middle of the screen represents the visual drafting board, and it is infinite in size. Currently, we are looking at the blank interface. This area is called the model space. Just so you know, the infinite in size of the model space enables you to draw something as small as a desk or something as big as a city, using any scale of your choice, be it 1:1000 or 1:1 true scale. This is one out of many advantages AutoCAD has to pen and paper, because if you draw with paper, you try to use scale that will fit your geometry within the confine of your paper. But with model space, you can draw or design even to true scale. Also, model space contains 3D environment. Let's open an AutoCAD drawing to understand what I'm saying. Go to the top left corner of your screen. Click on this letter A button, hover your cursor on Open and click on Drawing. A Select File window will pop up. Now locate the table_001.dwg file. You can use the preview to confirm the file you are opening. Now you've seen your file, double-click on it or select the file and click on Open button located down here. To maximize your view, go over to the navigation bar on the middle right corner of your model space and click the Zoom Extend tool. You're currently viewing the drawing on a flat plane, and it is on top view. To change the view, go to the right corner of your model space. This right here is the view cube. The view cube has several hotspots. You're viewing from the top view, like I said. You see the left, right, northwest isometric, southwest isometric, and more views. You can also rotate your view by clicking Rotate arrow, and it will rotate your view in 90 degrees increment or decrement. To see all available view options at once, go to the top left corner of your model space and click on the top button to choose any view control. Click on the negative sign button to get your viewport controls. Here you can restore your viewport. For maximization, click on the addition sign and choose Maximize Viewport. If you click on the 2D wireframe, you will get the visual style controls. This control changes the way the drawing looks on screen. I like using the shaded style visual control when working on a 3D object. There's still other visual controls, but let's stay on 2D wireframe till we move to 3D. Towards the bottom of the interface, you can see Model Space as a tab. The other two layouts are designed as a sheet of paper by AutoCAD so that you can set it up and print out finished drawing. At the bottom middle of the screen is the command line. Here you can actually type in any command. Let's say I want to type in the move command. The good part is, as I start typing the word, AutoCAD brings up suggestions. Then I can choose my desired command from any of the suggestions. Also note that the command line is movable. You can click and drag on the dotted pattern, which represents a handle, then dock the command on, say, the edge of the screen if you want to. But I prefer it at the bottom middle, AutoCAD's default position. At the bottom of the screen is the status bar. This status bar displays information about the drawing environment as well as the setting current state. This first area is the drawing coordinate. It shows the location of my cursor. The model icon comes next. This is used to jump back and forth between a model space viewport and a layout tab. Next is a row of icons which represent several drawing settings. Just hover over an icon and AutoCAD will tell you the setting the icon controls, also the keyboard shortcut as well. Each of the icons on the status bar is a toggle, meaning that when you click it once, it will turn the setting on. Clicking the icon again turns it off. The icons with blue color shades are toggled on, while those without are off. There is a workspace switching where you can choose any saved configuration of tools. If you want to view your screen on a clean environment with less minimization, you can toggle the clean screen on. AutoCAD will hide the display of many of the interface items so you can view your drawing as large as possible on screen. Click Clean Screen again to put things back to their former state. On the middle right end of our model space are some tools. We've seen the Zoom Extend tool before. There is still the Orbit tool for extended view. It contains a drop-down button for free orbit and continuous orbit. Then the Pan tool for moving the view planar to your screen. Also, there is Full Navigation tool. This is quite different from selecting other normal commands. You need to be experienced with 3D to enjoy this tool. Just press on any of the weights, say Work Wedger, and drag to use Work Navigation tool. When you are satisfied, release the mouse button to return to the wheel. You can repeat this for any other navigation tool. At the top of the screen is a toolbar, which is the Quick Access toolbar, housing our often used command. Here, there is the New, Open, Save, Save As, Open from Web and Mobile, Save to Web and Mobile, Plot, the Undo, Redo, and a drop-down menu button from which we can add more quick access tools like this Workspace button. If you click on the Drafting and Annotation, you'll see additional Workspace options. These three are the more commonly used, while the other two were migrated from my 2007 version of AutoCAD. Later on, we'll come back to Workspace. You can also add any command to the toolbar. Let me add quickly construction line to the toolbar. Right-click on it and you will see the Add to Quick Access Toolbar option. Now it's added. To remove it, I'll right-click on it and click Remove from Quick Access Toolbar. Let's go back to this letter A button we clicked earlier on. Clicking on this menu button opens up the application menu. Here you will see your 5 main tools and you can start new drawing from here, open new file, save current drawing to AutoCAD default format, save as, and more tools like the drawing utilities where you can adjust the units or check drawings for errors, remove or purge unused item from the drawing and so on. In a case whereby you forgot the location of the tool you're looking for, you can go to the search command bar and search for it. Let's search for, say, press pull. AutoCAD even tells you the location. For example, it says press pull is found on solid editing. All I need to do is to change my workspace to 3D modeling, and here is it. Or change my workspace to 3D basis, and I'll see it. Though the easiest way, just so you know, is to search for the command and click on the hyperlink, then use the command. Below the toolbar is the ribbon. Now AutoCAD has organized the ribbon in an easy to access manner by dividing the ribbon into tabs. The tabs are named based on each task. For example, to insert something into our drawing, select Insert tab. To find more annotation, which are not in the Home tab, click on the Annotate tab and you will find it too. The Home tab consists of Drawing panel for the creation of geometry, Modify panel for making changes to the geometry, Annotation panel for creating text and dimension. There are many more like the Group panel for classing objects or drawings together and more. Also, apart from the Clipboard panel, every other panel has a drop-down button, displaying more content anytime you click on it. You can also pin and unpin the content at will. On the Annotate tab, you'll see an arrow icon on the right side. This icon opens up a dialog box associated with that collection of tools whenever you click it. Say I want to adjust dimension style. I'll click on the icon associated with the dimension collection and it opens Dimension Style Manager. Close this window and go back to the Home tab. You can also add additional tabs like the 3D tool. I'll first right-click anywhere on the ribbon and choose Show tab, then select 3D tool. To remove it, right-click again, then uncheck it. Let's look at the features of palettes in AutoCAD. With palettes, you can easily access calculation tools, drawing setting commands, and more. There are times you might need a palette to stay on screen for a longer period. Let's see how we can optimize the palette so that it doesn't cover large area on screen. Go to the View tab. Now under Palette panel, you can see different available items for palettes which can be displayed on the interface. The three palettes I like working with often are Property palette for changing the properties of any selected object, the Calculation palette, and the Layer palette. Press Ctrl and 1 on your keyboard. Note later on, toward the end of this lesson, I will display a list of AutoCAD shortcuts on screen. So hold down Ctrl and press 1 or click on this Property palette to toggle it on. If I click on this drawing, the Properties palette displays all the settings associated with this geometry. I'll draw a cycle. Clicking on this cycle displays the parameter. I want my cycle to have 200 units as its diameter, which is 100 units radius by the way. Click on the diameter and type 200. As you can see, it changes immediately. Seeing the functionality of this palette, it would be nice to have it available all the time, but it's quite unfortunate that it's large on screen. To correct that, press and hold your left mouse button on this bar, drag and drag this palette on the middle left end of your screen. Hover to the main bar of the palette and click on this Auto Hide button. Next, right-click on the bar and choose Icons Only. Now, anytime you go to the icon, it will display your Properties palette for you. If you want it to stay on screen, click on the Auto Hide button to toggle off. If you don't want it anymore on your interface, click the Close button. To bring it back, just go to the View tab and click on the Properties. Also click on Calculator and Layer palette to add them. But this Layer palette is covering almost half of my screen, so I will just come to the end right till my mouse changes and click and drag to reduce the size. It's about time we talk about Workspace. Workspace is a stored arrangement of tools on screen. Once you know the way tools are arranged in a particular workspace, you can easily access the tool you need. You can also arrange your AutoCAD tool the way you want them and save those arrangements as a workspace. Go up to Workspace Rollout option on your toolbar. Drafting and annotation workspace is for any 2D work, while 3D modeling has a full collection of 3D modeling and rendering tools. To create a workspace, go to your interface and arrange your tool the way you want them to be. Like the palette we set earlier on, you can still click and drag any frequently used command set, then go to the Workspace drop-down menu and choose Save Current As. Name your workspace and save. Anytime you make changes to your saved workspace, go to the Save Current As option and select the workspace you are using to override to the new configuration. Let's briefly look at the option dialog box. Go to the application menu and click on Options. This will be a brief walkthrough of the options. No major change will be made for now. This option dialog box is organized into tabs. We will only look at the Open and Save tab and 3D Modeling tab. If you are using 2021 version of AutoCAD to do a project which a colleague using 2007 version of AutoCAD is going to work on, saving this project on this 2018 default format will make it difficult for the one using 2007 AutoCAD to work on the project. You get a scenario whereby the file you sent to the colleague can't open on his own AutoCAD. So you can choose the format you know will be best for you guys and set it as the default format. On the 3D Modeling tab, you can choose to hide a view cube if you are only going to work on 2D. This you can do by unchecking this, then click Apply. But I do need the view cube, so I'll add a check mark back and click the Apply button again. The more familiar you become with AutoCAD, you can at will revisit this option dialog box and fine-tune it to your needs. Now, we will talk about the anatomy of a command. All AutoCAD command works in a similar way. When you pick a command, keep an eye down at the command line because AutoCAD tells you what it needs. Select a line command by clicking on the line icon, for example. At the command line, you can see that AutoCAD is telling you what it needs to complete the selected command. Left-click to pick a point on your model space. Join me in picking extra points. Now, you can see that the command line words has changed. AutoCAD is not just asking for another point, but there are now sub-options in a square bracket. Sub-options are more options which are available inside an active command. Here are 3 ways to access sub-options. The choice is yours. One way is by typing the capitalized letter of the option. For example, to undo one segment, I'll type U and hit Enter. Another way to access this option is by right-clicking and you will find the option right here in the menu. I'll still undo to go back one more segment. The last way, which is the easiest way to access this option, is to go down to the command line and click it. I will just click on Close to close the shape. To relaunch previous command, click on the spacebar or Enter key on your keyboard. While to exit any active command, press the Escape key and AutoCAD will hold that command in its track. Now, we will talk about the anatomy of a command. All AutoCAD command works in a similar way. When you pick a command, keep an eye down at the command line because AutoCAD tells you what it needs. Select a line command by clicking on the line icon, for example. At the command line, you can see that AutoCAD is telling you what it needs to complete the selected command. Left-click to pick a point on your model space. Join me in picking extra points. Now, you can see that the command line words has changed. AutoCAD is not just asking for another point, but there are now sub-options in a square bracket. Sub-options are more options which are available inside an active command. Here are 3 ways to access sub-options. The choice is yours. One way is by typing the capitalized letter of the option. For example, to undo one segment, I'll type U and hit Enter. Another way to access this option is by right-clicking and you will find the option right here in the menu. I'll still undo to go back one more segment. The last way, which is the easiest way to access this option, is to go down to the command line and click it. I will just click on Close to close the shape. To relaunch previous command, click on the spacebar or Enter key on your keyboard. While to exit any active command, press the Escape key and AutoCAD will hold that command in its track. Whenever I'm learning a new application as bulky as AutoCAD, one of my many questions is, what does this icon do? And the quicker I get answers to my question, the faster I learn the application. Well, with the help features, I can get answers to questions faster. So let's install the help features of this 2021 version of AutoCAD. I would like you to go up and click the arrow button beside the help icon here. Choose Download Offline Help. It will open up a web page on your browser. On the web page that opens, select your preferred language. Mine is English. I'm using an IDM to download mine. Your download process will definitely be different. Once the download is complete, locate the downloaded file and install it. This process might take a while. Mine took about 6 minutes, so feel free to pause the video as you wait for your download, extraction, and installation. Now we've installed the help feature of this AutoCAD version. Whenever you place your cursor on this icon, AutoCAD will tell you the command the icon launches. If you wait a little bit longer, AutoCAD will give you more information in the form of an extended tooltip. Now, if you need to know more about this command, note what it says at the bottom of the tooltip. Yes, pressing F1 brings up content-sensitive help for this specific command. From here, I can find out everything about the command. If you select any command and press F1 key while the command is still active, AutoCAD will bring up the help features related to that command. When you are done with the dialog box, you can close it and AutoCAD picks up from where it left off. You can use the sidebar at the top of the interface to find answers to your questions. Type press pull for instance and hit enter. Now AutoCAD searches the help documentation as well as the user guide and developer information and displays all this information about the keyword, in this case, press pull for me. On the left hand are several options to choose from. For more general purpose help, you can use the help icon on the right corner of your interface. This will bring up AutoCAD help window, which contains sample content, tutorials, and more. At this point, we've come to an end of our user interface lesson. But like I promised, here are some lists of AutoCAD shortcuts. You can pause the video and note them. Also watch out for the next video coming up. That will be on drawing management. Thank you so much for watching.